So 4 new casts have been added to the Mortal Kombat movie sequel that is currently under production. I think Todd Garner said there was one more day to go to actually start. But nonetheless, we have more cast members that have been announced for major characters that will greatly affect the story, so let's get to it. So first off, we have Martin Ford as Emperor Shao Kahn. Uh, Notably, the actor is 6'8" and is only 6 inches shy of the height listed in Mortal Kombat 11, so it seems like perfect casting in my mind. We've seen various videos of potential Shao Kahn casting and actors, so kudos to Martin Ford for getting picked. We then have Anna Nguyen as Sindel. We have Desmond Chiam as King Jerrod, and Damon Harriman as Quan Chi. Now, this is in addition to some recent castings that included Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Tati Gabrielle as Jade, and Adeline Rudolph as Kitana, the former two being, of course, together on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So, cool to see all that going. And when you kind of add those cast members to the entire cast, you get a pretty well-rounded cast and kind of an idea of maybe where the story is going this time around for the sequel. So, we have Liu Kang returning. We have now Kitana, Jade, Johnny Cage. We got Sonya Blade coming back, Jax, Scorpion. Get to that more in a minute. We have Sub-Zero, or more likely Noob Saibot maybe. We've got Raiden, Shang Tsung, of course, is coming back, Cole Young, King Jerrod, Sindel, Shao Kahn, Kung Lao, Kano, and Quan Chi. So let's kind of dive into, these are significant characters being added, so let's kind of dive into what that really means for the story going forward. And these are just more of my own predictions, so let me know your thoughts and comments down below as I go along. So basically with the initial setup, I feel like we're going to kind of have a repeat of the Mortal Kombat movie with a prelude of an opening sequence, much like we got with Bi-Han killing Hanzo's family and then of course killing Hanzo. So going to basically be telling the story of King Jerrod, Sindel, and Edenia. So I believe the movie could tell the story as far as how King Jerrod was once the king of Edenia before Edenia's finest warriors lost Mortal Kombat. It says this is of course according to his wiki, he was eventually defeated and killed by Shao Kahn's forces. He was succeeded by his wife, Queen Sindel, who was eventually married Shao Kahn, and then his only daughter, Princess Kitana, obviously was adopted by Shao Kahn. Now, that could be like an overall premise, and then we kind of have a lot of the backstory that we get from the games that kind of confirm this, retcon this, but overall kind of make for some interesting foreshadowing of what we could actually get in the kind of opening sequence of the movie. So, according to Sindel's story in MK9, again, according to her wiki, while she is the mother of Kitana and the Queen, Sindel was forced into marriage with Shao Kahn when he conquered her realm of Edenia. In an attempt to thwart the Emperor's designs on Earthrealm, she sacrificed herself. Her suicide created a magical ward preventing him from setting foot there. But now the barrier has been dissolved. Sindel has been resurrected, her mind enslaved by Shao Kahn. Earthrealm's former ally has become a deadly threat. Now, this, of course, was changed in Mortal Kombat 11, with all the retcons, and it kind of gave more insight of what King Jerrod's story is, and I feel like this is more of what they're going to go with. I don't know that they're going to make it to where, or maybe we'll have one version of what happens in the beginning, and maybe this will be kind of seen later on in the movie. Not quite sure they'll do this, but I think this is probably what we'll get in the movie. Sindel was in fact Jerrod's true killer, not Shao Kahn, revealing to Kitana and Liu Kang that Jerrod felt Sindel and himself should not feel so entitled to their royalty, a mindset that angered Sindel. As a result, Sindel killed him for Shao Kahn, who showed more authority towards the throne than Jerrod did. Her story being forced into marriage by the Outworld Tyrant was a lie to keep the Edenians, especially Kitana, loyal to her. Now, what gets interesting is Quan Chi. Now, Quan Chi's involvement, specifically with Sindel's death, I think is also interesting and probably could play out as well. So it says that Sindel ruled with Shao Kahn until no matter which version of the story, ruled with Shao Kahn until she was secretly killed by Quan Chi. Quan Chi kills Sindel knowing that she will not obey and could be a great threat to Shinnok and the Netherrealm. Of course, that's who his alliance is to. Quan Chi claims that Sindel died by suicide and that in doing so, she has betrayed Shao Kahn and created a magical ward over Earthrealm, preventing Shao Kahn from evading it. So that part's still kind of true. It goes on to say, in reality, after Sindel's death, Quan Chi himself created a magical ward for Earthrealm in order to use this to complete the plan to eliminate Shao Kahn. Now in MKX, they kind of do some more with this, and it says that Sindel is resurrected in the present by Quan Chi as like a revenant, who binds her mind to his will. Her resurrection causes the ward over Earthrealm to dissipate, allowing Shao Kahn to proceed with new plans. After Mataru was killed by Raiden, Shao Kahn takes the souls from Shang Tsung's body, killing him in the process, and grants his Empress the power needed to defeat her enemies. So that is a lot to kind of, I don't know if they'll go through all of that in the movie, but they might do like a condensed version in the very beginning. So we have evil Sindel in the movie, because I cannot imagine that we're going to have good Sindel. Maybe we will. Maybe they're going to change it up, but I feel like she'll be a villain. Now, as far as Quan Chi goes and how that affects the story, again, there's different ways they could go about it. So with Quan Chi being cast, does this possibly mean that we're going to have an expanded kind of side story and possibly even a retcon of Bi-Han and Hanzo's initial story from the beginning? You know, it wouldn't be the first time, kind of like they do like in Final Destination, where they kind of retell the original story, but then kind of tell it from different aspects to kind of show you different details, so it kind of really explains what happened, that kind of thing. So possibly being given that Quan Chi's a shapeshifter, maybe he was shapeshifted as Bi-Han, and he's the one that actually did the killing and not actually Bi-Han himself. But it didn't matter that the damage had been done and the rivalry was still always there. Quan Chi just kind of lit the flame, you know, lit the match to lit the flame, and then it just kind of became whatever it was. It would happen anyway. So kind of giving more of like an MK Legends Scorpion's Revenge kind of side storyline, where Scorpion can still be in the movie, but now that, you know, we have Noob Saibot possibly going to happen, because that's obviously has to do with Quan Chi and the Netherrealm and the Resurrection, all that kind of good stuff. Maybe through that storyline, Scorpion will figure out that it wasn't really Bi-Han that did it, it was Quan Chi. And maybe, you know, Noob Saibot and Scorpion will team up and kill Quan Chi. You never know. But I think this would also allow for specifically Hellfire Scorpion to kind of stay in the movie. Now, there could also be something with the Revenants. I'm going to kind of tease that in another video, but more than likely it'll either be a retcon of the Bi-Han Hanzo Hasashi story from the first movie, or I think we're going to get something alluded to Shinnok's return. Again, Quan Chi is an alliance to Shinnok. That's basically who he serves. And because Shinnok's amulet made a brief cameo in the first Mortal Kombat movie in Raiden's Order of Light Temple, where we see Kano attempt to steal the amulet before Liu Kang tells him to return it, that basically means Quan Chi's appearance could mainly be behind the scenes, kind of setting up Shinnok's return. Maybe he, you know, maybe he sends Noob Saibot or some other minion, you know, that he brings back to go try to steal the amulet from Raiden's temple, so he could basically try to bring Shinnok back. And maybe that he kind of does that throughout the movie, making appearances here and there. Of course, acting like he's assisting Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn, so that way he's not, you know, totally made out, you know, exactly what he's doing. He's not revealing his intentions. So maybe he's kind of doing that nefariously behind the scenes. Now, we know that Shinnok is a fallen elder god, and in many times of the story, he wants to conquer all the realms, either for his own purpose or to resurrect the one being. So we kind of know what Shinnok's story to be, and I would love to see that eventually play out on film, because even in games, we kind of see it in some ways, but never only fully fleshed out as far as the consequences. Or maybe we'll get a taste of Deadly Alliance. You know, if they decide not, I don't know how exactly they're going to use Shao Kahn in this movie. You know, I don't know if they're going to make it just like where he's just an appearance, and maybe like in the third one, he's more of like in the action. It's possible maybe in this film we'll actually get a tournament, and maybe Shao Kahn decides he's the last person, you know, given that Shang Tsung couldn't do what he did in the first one. Maybe Shao Kahn says, you know what, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to take care of business, and maybe he gets killed. So maybe somehow Shang Tsung still manages to get away, and so maybe he, you know, kind of reaches out to Quan Chi and says, hey, you want to make a pact? You know, I think we could take over, you know, Outworld, and with you have the Netherrealm, we could take over other realms. You know, maybe that's something that they could do. I think definitely them together are a dynamic duo and a very powerful duo that the Earthrealm heroes would have a hard time defeating, especially if you have other, you know, villains involved. So maybe we could get a tease at the very end, like at the movie, of a Deadly Alliance. That would be kind of cool. So what do you think about the new casting for the Mortal Kombat movie sequel? What do you think about the potential openings, prelude, or sequence for the story of King Jerrod, Sindel, and Edenia? How do you think about the involvement of Quan Chi, and how do you think all these other characters will affect the story overall? Love your thoughts in the comments down below. That's the video, guys. Enjoy that like button. For more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.